Plants growing in a home landscape coexist with one another in a non-native environment. The urban landscape includes combinations of trees, shrubs, and turf, all of which have most of their absorbive roots intermingled in the top 3 to 4 inches of soil. Can one fertility program promote growth and/or quality for all landscape plants in a managed lawn? Well, the answer is no. Each situation is unique, and several choices exist for home landscape fertility programs. How do you determine what fertilizer your lawn or trees need? Well, the best way is to have the soil tested. You can collect samples anytime during the year and take them to your local county extension office for analysis and recommendations. Once you know what nutrients your lawn or tree needs, how do you know which fertilizers to buy? The analysis on the fertilizer bag tells you the percent of nitrogen, phosphate, and potash in the fertilizer. Buying the biggest bag, even if it has the correct fertilizer ratio, isn't necessarily the best bargain, because the fertilizer analysis tag indicates only the percent of plant food. You must calculate the pounds of plant food in the bag. For example, a 50-pound bag of 10-6-4 contains 5 pounds of actual nitrogen, 3 pounds of phosphate, and 2 pounds of potash. The rest of the material in the bag, or 40 pounds, is called the carrier. Soil test reports will have recommendations of pre-existing fertilizer combinations that make purchasing and applying easier. Calibrating your spreader becomes necessary when you use a brand of fertilizer that does not provide calibration information, or the bag does not include information on the spreader model you own. Since fertilizer's density and granule size vary a lot, you may have to recalibrate the spreader for almost every application. When using a rotary or drop type spreader, begin by guessing at a spreader setting, then apply a known amount of fertilizer to a test area and determine the square footage covered, the length times the width. Or apply the fertilizer over a plastic sheet or sidewalk area of known square footage. Then collect and weigh the fertilizer deposited. After calculating the rate per 1,000 square feet that you applied, if your first guess at the spreader setting was right, then treat the lawn at that setting. If not, readjust the spreader and repeat the procedure until the correct calibration is achieved. Calibrating your spreader to a half rate setting and going over the yard twice in different directions will ensure a more uniform coverage and color. Fertilization objectives for shade trees could include promoting rapid growth so young trees quickly become large and functional, maintaining health and appearance of mature trees, and attempting to rescue declining trees. However, in some circumstances, providing nitrogen to a declining tree only worsens the tree's condition. Fertilization objectives for turf grass could include promoting thick, lush green growth even if it needs a lot of maintenance, maintaining a healthy, persistent turf that needs less mowing and maintenance, having a grassy area for erosion control or utility that requires minimum upkeep. When should fertilizer be applied? Fall and winter are the best times to fertilize most landscape plants and grasses that grow in Kentucky. The annual amount of nitrogen should be split into 2 or 3 applications, approximately 6 weeks apart between both turf and woody plants. Nitrogen applied to turf between April and September can promote excessive top growth and thus decrease resistance to drought, disease, and heat. Do not apply nitrogen to woody plants between July 1st and November 1st, since some of the less winter-hardy plants may not harden in time for winter weather. During mild winters, good color may be maintained all winter following a fall application of nitrogen. By eliminating or minimizing spring fertilization, you prevent the heavy flush of growth that occurs with spring fertilization, reduce frequency of mowing during the spring, develop a better root system, reduce disease, and develop a more heat-tolerant, weed-free turf.